What's shaking, everyone? Good morning, good morning. There's my little abrupt music cut off. I gotta fix that. But hey, good morning, everyone. I see you all in here. I love that Karen Miller stopped by and sent me 2 coffees and a sunflower and said she had an appointment and she'll be back later. I love that. Good morning, Albert. Good to see you, sir. Good morning, Tom and Renee and Sly, and everybody is here. But before we get too far into it, welcome to PVRN Puerto Vallarta right now. I'm your host, Brent Lane. Good to see you again, everyone. And it is 9 a.m. Puerto Vallarta time. And for those keeping up with the days end of the week, it is August 13th, 2026. Morning, Pat. Buenos dias. Good to see you. Boom. Oh, what do we got going on? I told you the date, told you the time. Happy Thursday, Mary. Good to see you as well. Let's have a look outside. How's about? There it is. Nice day outside. Some pretty nice clouds today. I'll blow that up. That was a good look this morning at about 7:50 a.m., give or take. That's what it looked like right here in Puerto Vallarta. Oh, good to see everyone. Good morning, Kirsten. Always nice to see you here on the show. Good morning to you. Say good morning to your husband who's working too hard right now to be on the show, but that's okay. You can tell him all the news yourself. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. All right, with that, I gave you a live look outside. We got lots of stories today. We got some chit chat to do. But first things first, before I grab a cup of coffee, what do you do when your power is out? Oh my gosh, we don't. All right. So actually, I think a lot of people here in Puerto Vallarta and in Mexico probably can answer that question pretty easily. We definitely can answer pretty easily. When we lived back in Merida, our power went out at least a few times a week. When our lights weren't flashing like poltergeist all the time, we had some serious infrastructure problems. But last night, a condo here in the marina knocked out the entire building, and we had no power for probably about, 3 to 4 hours again. We're rookies. You guys are veterans, and you're really good at this. But it became like it wasn't really a challenge. Just like, what do you do when the power's out? So we chatted and chatted more and looked at our phones and chatted a little bit more, but maybe you've got more interesting things to do. Feel free to put them in the comments anytime, and maybe next time. Laura did suggest we play a little bit game of chess, but it was kind of dark, and honestly, she's been practicing too much. Did you know the Duolingo app, you can play chess? Oh, go to the pool, Reed. Very good. It was pretty dark out, but yeah, I think that could have been a very good answer. Thank you, Reed. And good morning. 2 days in a row. Nice to see you. But yeah, I didn't want to play chess with her because she plays chess on Duolingo all the time. I was like, I thought she's learning Spanish, but I hear move your queen, move your king. I'm like, that's not Spanish. But fair enough. She's getting too good at chess, and now I don't want to play her because she might beat me. I'm that guy. Sorry. All right. So if you've got any suggestions what to do when the power went out, I got to go to the pool. That's a really good one. Appreciate that one for sure. And before I jump into coffee, also a quick reminder, if you don't have water today, remember why, because you watch PVRN, you know why. So your water went out yesterday about 6 a.m. You might not have felt the effects of it because maybe you've got a tinaco, maybe you've got a cistern, but overall should be coming back today at some point. If you is not already returned to you as Say Pal is finishing up. Okay, Albert, yeah, light a candle and don't open the fridge. We're kind of fortunate here that we've got a generator that runs the fridges for the building and the elevators, luckily, because as the power went out, you're going to laugh about this one. The power went out for the whole building. It was unexpected because, again, there was a short circuit in the system and CFE had to come out. I get a message from Laura that says, I'm in the elevator. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're in the elevator? That's not good. That's real bad. But in reality, she was in the elevator coming upstairs. Luckily, those are on the generator. They just fixed that too. That's very lucky for her. I don't think she would have done well in the elevator. Get out the headlamps. Exactly. We had our flashlights out. And by the way, good morning, Isabel Samora. I think you've been on the show before, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'll give you a special good morning just in case. I love folks that are new that I just don't recognize every single day. Woo, that is a lot before I get a cup of coffee. But the coffee is calling me in the way it always calls me over the hills, through the valley. I can hear it. You hear it?
Coffee time on PVRN. Hey, clink those cups. Let's wake again. Sip the truth with a little grin. Coffee time. Let the news roll in. Steams up.
Yes. All right. I hope you get to cheers with me. Get your coffee cups out. Enjoy it. Thank you for all those coffees, lovely L3. I appreciate it. And I'm also happy that A, you didn't get trapped in the elevator, and B, you didn't beat me at chess. Those are things I'm thankful for today. All right, let's jump into the news. Enough about me, enough about my life, enough about my power outages. I hope you've got water. We've covered all of that. Let's jump into some news. So first up, I got this story yesterday, actually, but it was after the newscast, so it's a little bit dated. Not yesterday, it's not that dated. But did you know that a Mexican Navy helicopter had to execute a controlled emergency landing during a routine morning surveillance flight in southern Jalisco? The Mi-17 aircraft belonging to the Navy performed a controlled descent, not a crash per se. And John, thank you for shooting those helicopters across the screen. I do appreciate that. Around 7:30 a.m. yesterday, actually, it was before the show started. I didn't even see it. And a dance party. Thank you for coffee and the dance party. I love it. I get so easily distracted. We're never going to make it through this story. All right, I'm going to focus. All right, so they performed the controlled descent yesterday morning in the rural area of La Garita within the municipality of Tamazula de Gordiano. There we go. I sound like I'm Italian when I do my Spanish. Naval authorities did confirm that the crew executed the maneuver after encountering technical complications mid-flight. 3 of the naval crew members on board sustained minor injuries during the touchdown, though officials confirmed that none of the injuries, thankfully, are life-threatening, and of course, there were also, luckily, no fatalities. Emergency medical personnel provided care to the crew following the landing, while naval investigators opened an official evaluation to pinpoint the exact technical cause of this incident. All right, well, it wasn't right here, but I found it was an interesting story because we do have a naval base here. We do see a lot of helicopters around here, and this controlled descent ended up bad news for the helicopter, pretty okay news for those inside of the helicopter, which is always good. We appreciate that. Now, here's an update that you're going to want to know about, especially if you don't have a car here or you take the bus a lot around town. The bus is about 11 pesos now. There are some electric buses now, which is exciting. So we cover a lot about the bus system here. So this isn't anything new to frequent viewers. But this one might really, really help you. So if you, as I said, rely on public transportation to get around town, navigating local transit routes is taking a major digital step forward as the Jalisco Secretary of Transportation confirmed that official bus routes and stop locations across Puerto Vallarta are already mapped and visible on Google Maps when using the transit layer, okay? Here's a technical update. Turn on your transit layer if you're using the bus system. The system is now moving into its next rollout phase, which will display the actual moving bus icons in real time as they move around the map on the street. This is very, very cool. So even if you're like not tracking a particular bus, you'll see all the buses moving on the transit. So the timing will be a lot easier in terms of getting on your bus. So technicians are currently linking GPS telematics across the entire Unibus fleet, from standard natural gas units to the newest electrical buses, as I mentioned, to stream the precise locations at all times directly into the application. Once the live GPS phase completes shortly, riders will be able to see exact unit movements, track arrival times at specific stops, and plan multimodal trips or just multi-stop tips. We don't have to be so fancy, news, without guessing when the next bus is going to arrive. Thank you so much, my friends. I kid with you at Bahia de Taravuna for that story. And that's exciting news. I think that's great. We don't take the bus a whole lot, but I love taking the bus. We used it a lot when we would travel the world, where we love taking buses around. I know some people really enjoy taking the bus from here to Guadalajara and back. But yeah, taking them around town is going to be a lot easier. Like when you can literally look at the app, see where the buses are, know how long it's going to be to a particular stop, and get there for 11 pesos. I think that's amazing. And John, thank you for shooting the buses across the screen. You have become my graphics man. You have another job other than, of course, the world famous PVRN Coffee Cam. That's coming tomorrow. Yeah, better than move. I found the Move It app. So yeah, Albert, good. I'm glad you bring that up. The Move It app used to be my go-to when we were traveling the world. That was a great way to see where the buses are. But man, that's become full of ads to the point where I find it's almost unusable. Obviously, they want to have you pay for it now. And the Move It app just isn't what it used to be. But if you haven't used Move It before and you want to do a side-by-side comparison as they roll this out, open up your Google Maps, open up your Move It, and see what works for you. But I think Google Maps is going to be the way going forward with transportation here. And for that, I will definitely give it cheers to the transit system here. We love that. More electric buses, more tracking of the buses. That is great, great news. All right. On with the news. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. So this one I saw yesterday. It's not exactly timely for this time of season. As you can see, it's got whales, but we love the environment here on PVRN. So if you love the whales and you love environment, I know you do, or you like taking a boat out during the season to go see the whales, well, marine biologists are issuing a fresh warning. Thank you, John, for the whales. I appreciate that. Right on cue. See, you notice I turned off the picture right away so we can see those whales coming. I knew they were coming. I knew it. You're like my behind the scenes producer and graphics. I love that. Okay, so they're issuing another warning, or fresh warning, about boat traffic in the local waters. So Marine Conservation Organization has reported that an average of 3 humpback whales are struck by boats in Banderas Bay every year, with most incidents ending in fatal injuries for the whales. That's surprising to me. I didn't think it was 3. We hear about them every now and then. I know there's a calf hit last year, and I remember one other whale getting hit. But yeah, this is more than I expected in terms of how many are being hit. Biologist Astrid Frisch Jordan explained that growing maritime traffic combined with high vessel speeds creates severe risk for migrating whales and mother calf pairs resting near the surface. Photo tracking and collision documentation show that many strikes go unreported, maybe that's why we don't hear about them, until the stranded animals wash ashore or show visible propeller scars, if they ever even do show up. Local maritime authorities and conservation groups are calling on watercraft operators, tour boats, and private captains to reduce speeds and maintain safe distance guidelines across the bay as we're coming into this season's whale watching season, which isn't anytime real soon. We're talking like November, December. But it's something to keep in mind and keep on the radar. And hopefully that message makes it to those captains and those boat operators and those whale watching operators are out there. Thank you so much to Miguel Gonzalez Guerrera. Affectionately, we call him MGG at the TV station for that story and getting us prepared to come into whale season in the future. Okay, before we hit our last story today, let's do coffee one more time because I know you're thirsty. I know you want some. Cheers it with me if you're still out there. And just gives me another second because we're blazing along pretty fast here to say just how much I appreciate all of you. Many of you come on every single day, every single weekday for this show. You've told your friends, you've told your family about it. It's made them feel, yeah, it is sad about the whales every year. At least three. But it is going to be a moment just to thank you all for being regular viewers of the show and really finding a lot of information and joy out of it and communication and community. And if this is how you start your day to get involved with the day and know what's going on in your sense of community, I love that. That's what this show is all about. And who can believe we go all the way back to February 22nd? I guess in about 9 more days, we're going to have an anniversary. So yeah, that's exciting. We're getting older every day, but it's a blessing, I'm sure. All right, let's move into our last story. Now that I've thanked you for being here, because the news is going so fast today, I figured I would throw that out there. All right, next up, are you planning a trip to Guadalajara or from Guadalajara here or even Mascota? Well, you got to plan for a little bit more time because the Libre Highway, and just so in case you don't know the definitions between the Cuota Road and the Libre Road, that's the free road. That's the mountain road we're talking about here, not the toll road. That's the one that goes up towards Mascota, all the way to Guadalajara from Puerto Vallarta. It's a really beautiful road. It's actually one of the best roads to take if you're a motorcyclist, especially, or you just love great scenic roads. It's up through the mountains. It's a bit further, but let me get into the story a bit. So you've got to get prepared for active work zones and single lane alternating stops along key stretches of Highway 70. Good morning, Sherry. Yeah, Fooey, you're late, but good morning. I'll give you one anyways. I saw you pop in. All right, so Sherry, we're talking about the free road up to Mascota and Guadalajara, just to catch you up. All right, so the federal transportation officials from Jalisco confirmed that 5 separate infrastructure projects are currently underway along the route, which crews currently sitting at about 50% total completion right now. The work is split across 2 primary transit zones, beginning with the stretch between the Amica Junction and the Amica Town, where workers are repaving the first 7 kilometers and undertaking a full structural reconstruction of the Amica Bridge at kilometer 50. And this is my little warning to you that, when I read these stories right out of the Mexican local news, they're going to have lots of numbers and data. So we're jumping into numbers and data. Here we go. Further up the mountain pass between Amica and Mascota, heavy machinery is actively milling asphalt, laying new pavement, and applying protective seal coats across 3 distinct sectors spanning kilometers 0 to 26, 70 to 98, and 98 to 117. Hopefully you were taking notes. You probably are if you're planning on taking that road anytime soon. Transportation delegates expect all 5 projects to remain active through late October, and they're warning drivers that flaggers and lane reductions will add anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes of extra travel time during peak hours, particularly when heavy rain slows down the mountain traffic. Of course, MGG, thank you again for that story. So if you're not as familiar with that road, I'm very familiar about it as I take my motorcycle there. I love that ride. So that ride takes about 5.5 hours, give or take, to get to Guadalajara as compared to the toll road, which is about 3.5. It all depends on the traffic that you hit when you get to Guadalajara or Puerto Vallarta. So it's a little bit longer at 5.5 hours, but now it might be 6 to 6.5 hours. Again, it's a beautiful ride. Take it if you got a car and a motorcycle. Just slow down a little bit for the flaggers and keep everybody safe and protect those workers as well. Okay, everybody, that's it. We're only at about 17 minutes, so I'm going to say my goodbyes. But before you go anywhere, especially if this is your first time, please take a second. Hit the bell in the bottom corner right beside the scroll script going across the screen. It's right over here. Hit that bell. Subscribe to my show, please, and hit notifications all instead of default, and you will never miss a show. And of course, if you're here every day, I love viewer mail. Hit me up anytime at pvrnmx@gmail.com, and you will be able to reach me anytime you like. Sherry, we enjoy you being here too, and I wanted to make sure everybody saw that. Ciao to you, Mary, as well. Everybody's saying goodbye, but I will remind you again, viewer mail, it's important. But yes, I will see you all tomorrow, and a reminder, tomorrow is what we call Casual Friday. It doesn't seem all that different, really, because all the news has been fairly casual right now anyways, so we'll just call it Friday. How's about that? I might drop that casual moniker soon, because this show's actually become more casual over time and more of a community show. So that's it, everybody. Have a great one. I'm about to roll the credits. Hang in there for a second if you have time, just to say thanks and see the list of the amazing reporters where I pulled this news from. And of course, my amazing trade sponsors who helped to make this show happen. Everybody have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow for Friday before we head into the weekend. Again, if you've got any viewer mail, you've got a shout out, you got something you want to say about the show, tomorrow's the day I usually talk about it. And I'll probably talk about an event coming up or two. And oh my gosh, and we're going scuba diving this weekend, teaser. So I'll probably be talking about that too. All right, everybody, have a great one. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow on Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.